Hello, my name is Angeles. Today we will be starting with the town hall in Munich, Germany. The Baroque architectural style is defined by its liveliness and vibrance. This style is portrayed through the town hall in Munich, Germany, which was previously stated. The first thing that you notice about the town hall is a huge pillar that seems to be reaching for the sky. This evokes a great sense of admiration and gives the building its vibrant dynamic, which was a key feature in the Baroque style period, where it was kind of just like evoking admiration for things. Another key feature is the arches you see throughout the building. There's arches near the bottom of the hall as entry points and as kind of like little balconies around the first floor. Another key item that allows for this building to be so much full of livelihood is the amount of windows throughout it. So these will ensure that there is a lot of light inside, which will allow for more of a livelihood. Then there are all the colors that come together in a harmonious way. All of the browns and reds throughout the town hall allow for movement and warmness to lead the viewer to simply keep admiring the beauty of the architectural style being presented. Now, in comparison, the US Supreme Court is more of a classical architectural style. One of the key features of the classical style architecture are the presence of the columns. So throughout the front of the building, you will see the 8 columns standing tall. You can also see a door at the front entrance in a warmer brown color. Alongside the stairs are also present 2 large statues to add a contrast to the rest of the building. But overall, one of the key features of the classical style is a lack of color and the presence of all white, but small touches of color. This is evidently present in the US Supreme Court, as you can see that basically everything just is white throughout it. There is small hints of color, but everything throughout is more like stagnant white. Moving on to the musical pieces. Track 67, also known as the Brandenburg Concerto No. 4, is from the Baroque era. It uses a string orchestra and soloists. The instruments include a flute, a violin, and a harpsichord. It consists of 3 movements: fast, slow, fast. The first movement he creates is allegro, which is basically a flow of rapid notes. Then he proceeds to introduce the flute and violin, which ultimately helps to bring a lower dynamic level to the piece, along with a new tone color presented by the flute. So, as you can hear in the background, it's all going slow, and then this is the introduction of the soloist. Then he proceeds. These solo sections are in polyphonic texture, and they serve to build tension to anticipate the return of the tutti, which is basically the repetition that you see in the beginning of the piece. Then to finalize it all, you hear the harpsichord, which is ultimately a finalization of the song. For the piece, I'm sorry. Track 11, also known as the Ein klein Nachtmusik, or A Little Light Magic by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, is a piece from the classical era. It is in sonata allegro form, which includes 3 sections: the exposition, the development, and the recapitulation. The exposition is heard in the beginning of the song when you hear both themes played at the same time. Then the development happens shortly after, and each time beginning on a different pitch. Then finally is the recapitulation, which is similar to the exposition, except it is played on a home key instead. The piece is very light in mood, which would indicate it to be a serenade. It is for a small string orchestra, which consists of 2 violins, a viola, a cello, and a double bass, or also a quartet, and then adding a double bass. The third movement in this piece is known as the minute or allegretto. This movement is presented in ABA form. The A allows for staccato, which is louder sound, whereas the B leads into more of a legato, a softer sound. This allows for a consistent flow of music following this pattern in the homophonic texture. In conclusion, looking at both the architecture and musical style of Baroque throughout the town hall in Munich and Concerto No. 5, we can see how similar they are to one another in regards to several aspects. The town hall has a vibrance and livelihood throughout it, expressed through its colors, and you can also see it present in the concerto through the wide range of instrumental color present, for example, the flute. Another key similarity is how the concerto is polyphonic in regards to its musical texture, but because of all the different aspects in the town hall, it is also referred to It can also be referred as polyphonic texture, not in a musical sense, but in a visual one. There's so many things going on at once and so many different aspects that you can focus on. On the other hand, the classical style is presented by the U.S. Supreme Court in Mozart's Serenade. The musical texture for the serenade is homophonic, which stems from much sameness. If we take a look at the U.S. Supreme Court, it all exemplifies much sameness in regards to color or how symmetrical it is. If we take a look at in regards to musical form, Mozart's Serenade is sonato allegro, and we can see it come to life in the Supreme Court because of the repetition of the building. For example, the beginning can be the expo and it ends in the recapitulation, but throughout the building there's a huge amount of symmetry and repetition that is very present throughout classical style era. And that is it. Thank you very much for watching.